Okay, so in the video today, I'm going to be talking about graphing negative externalities. So on an externality graph, it is made up by a producer, a consumer, and someone else like you or me. So this is the cost to others besides decision makers. So for this graph today, we are going to be thinking of a situation. So for this, a problem. So we're going to be thinking of a company who's dumping their chemical waste into the ocean. So in order to prevent them from dumping chemical waste, there's a price they have to pay for it. So they're going to be dumping less because it's going to cost them. And this is going to benefit you, the individual, because of having to pay, they're probably going to dump less. So you're going to benefit in some way, even though you're not directly affected by this cost. So when you're graphing it, to kind of think of it, the MSC, your first supply curve, is the cost on society, so that's the cost on everyone like you and me. And then the MPC, the other supply curve, is the cost on the individual, which is the company who's dumping their chemical waste. And then the MSB, the demand curve, is the benefit on society, so that's what we get from this, from what everyone gets from this tax on them for dumping their chemical waste. So when you're looking at this, going ahead and looking, you're going to want to graph it at equilibrium, which is where the MPC equals MSB, which is right here, and you graph over and down and you get your price and quantity. Then you're going to want to graph where it is socially optimal, which is right here. So you graph over for your price at socially optimal and you graph down for your quantity at socially optimal. When you're doing this, if you were to graph up from your quantity, you're going to notice that you have a deadweight loss, which is where exchanges should be taking place but are not. And that is what deadweight loss is. So what you're going to gather from all this information in a negative externality graph is that because they are putting a tax on the chemical waste into the ocean, less is going to be dumped because it's going to cost them. And even though, say, you can't go swimming because of this chemical waste, because of the tax, and they're going to be dumping less, you're going to end up benefiting because there's less waste being dumped, so you might have the opportunity to go swimming instead. And that is how you graph negative externality. Thank you for watching.